Yo, Botch, 2007 back at you again for men's mind state and cultural reviews. So it seems the men are out here ghosting and the women are out here coping. We're going to listen to this woman and her cope on the topic, and then after that, we'll come with some of the commentary. Let's check her out.
You ever wonder why he didn't chase you even though the vibe was fire? Like, the chemistry was chemistrying, and then poof, silence. No follow up, no effort, just vibes left on red. You're checking your phone in your head, making excuses like maybe he's busy, maybe he's shy. No, babe, he liked you. That wasn't the issue. The problem? Chasing you would have required discipline. And that's a language that weak men just don't speak. It would have meant consistency, intent, and vulnerability. And for a man who's used to women handing him the girlfriend experience for the price of the bare minimum, that was too damn expensive. So he sat back and waited to see if you was gonna do the chasing. Because if he can get access to you without lifting a finger, that's not love, that's a power play. So no, you weren't crazy, you weren't too much, but connection without character, that sinks ships all the time. So the next time he disappears, don't question your worth, question his stamina.
All right, so we hear all the cope that she just spewed out. Yeah, so none of that was accurate. The men didn't like you, and you're just coping, and that's all it is. You're coping and seething.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Oh man, so that's just hilarious. Coping and seething. And that's clearly what's going on here with this woman. She's talking to the camera like she's talking to some third person. He didn't like you, or he just wasn't able to show up for you. No, she's not talking about some you. She's talking about herself. Somebody hurt her feelings, and now she's come to the internet, which is modern woman's therapist, and she's come to the internet to cope. So yeah, she's just coping and mauling because somebody didn't like her. And it's not because of the reasons that she's given. Of course, as is the want of modern women, she comes with the typical sign language, shame, insults, and guilt. And of course, the need to be right. But she's coming out here insulting and trying to shame men, talking about they don't have discipline and they didn't have character and they couldn't live up to being what you needed them to be and blah 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 and all this guilting and gaslighting us and all this nonsense. But instead of doing that, she could have gone another route. She could have looked inward at herself and been reflective. We could never expect them to do that because that would call for accountability, and we know these type of women never have any accountability to bring to the game. She could have been accountable and looked inward and said to herself, "What was it that made him not maintain interest in me?" And I can tell you what it's basically three things. Either she wasn't showing mutual interest, she wasn't reciprocal in her energies and showing up for him. Probably he was always initiating and she wasn't responding back, or she wasn't ever initiating or giving weak lame responses when she did respond, and he was having to be forced to carry all of the conversation. Or basically he was probably talking to three or four women at a time, and it's simply that somebody he was more interested in was more reciprocal. Or, she might have only been his third or fourth option on his list. And the chick he really liked, she was showing interest, and he decided to put his time and energies where his bread is buttered. And she just might as well admit it. He just didn't like you. That was the reason. All this other cope about discipline and having to chase, ain't chasing y'all. Chase what? As other men have said, why be chasing a bill? And why do you think men want to chase women who are out here with streetwear accoutrements? You got your stripper chest tat accoutrements. You think men want to chase you? Chase you for what? To get a bunch of nonsense, to get a bunch of entitlement, to get all this sign language and gaslighting that we're getting from you in this video. So we know that's what she puts out and how she interacts with men in general. This is not some isolated incident. This is how she gets. And instead of lying to herself and gaslighting the rest of us, she could just be honest with herself and just understand he just didn't like you that much. It happens. I mean, it happened with me before. I can remember a time when I was dating this chick, and well, not dating her. She was coming through town on vacation, and I was talking. We had caught up with each other. She was kind of on a move. She was in between a move and transitioning, and we hung out that first day when she was here, and then the night after she left, I called her. We had really good conversation. She was telling me all kind of interpersonal stuff. So I'm like, oh yeah, we right in here, okay. And then we didn't talk for a quick minute, which was fine because I was busy. I wasn't trying to be on top of her like that, whatever. And then when I started texting her a few days later, at first she was texting back. And then by the third day, I think I initiated some text, she didn't respond. I texted, I double texted, no problem, because it's like that sometimes. Sometimes people just miss your text. Sometimes I know with myself, I intend to respond. I just can't respond right when I read it. Then I forget about it and don't come back to it. It happens, no big deal. I hit her again, and she still wasn't responding. So I just took the hit and stepped with it. It's no big deal. It seemed like it could have been something in there, but obviously her interests were elsewhere. I just accepted that and kept stepping with it and ended up in a better situation later. That's just the way it goes. He just didn't like you that much. He just wasn't that into you. Just accept it and stop with the insulting men and trying to self gloss and make yourself out to be some special angel that somebody should want to chase, which we don't. And as if there's something special about you that, oh, he was just intimidated to have to step up to your standards. Like, again, you have stripper accoutrement on your chest. You don't have any standards. So you actually go out in public in the world trying to look like you slide down a pole for a living. Nobody's worried about your standards. Nobody was intimidated by you. You're just gaslighting because you're coping and you're seething, and now you're mauling. So now you're coming to the internet for therapy. It is not going to work. What women could do instead, again, is learn to be reciprocal and learn to show that they have interest. You need to show mutual interest in a man. It's not going to be all on him because men don't have to chase. We don't have to. What used to be the prerogative of maybe just the top 20% of guys, women are out here slutting it out so tough, talking about its empowerment to get ran through that box is widely available. So what top 15, top 20% men only could do years ago, yeah, you could be an average guy. You could be a 5 and a 6, and you could still get plenty without that much effort. And those top guys get it like, no, they don't even have to take you on a date anymore. Just come over with a $9 bottle of wine, if that, and put on a movie, and it's go time in an hour. Hit you with a what you're doing text, and it's on. Y'all made it. Y'all are so easy. Uh, Nobody needs to waste time with women with a bunch of nonsense. And if you're a woman who is about relationship and about building something more substantive, you're not that chick, then you're well rid of a guy who's not interested in sticking around to talk about that. And you shouldn't be worried about it because that shouldn't be the guy who you're trying to deal with anyway. That's the other problem. Y'all claim y'all want husbands, or you claim you want substantial relationships, and then you constantly are running behind men and worried about men who aren't interested into that. But he's 6'2" and his jawline is cut just right, so that's all that matters. Height over character. That's what y'all are. That's the only character you're worried about. The character of a guy's measurements. It's a bunch of nonsense. So what do you guys think? Am I lying or am I telling the truth? Do you think her claims of why the guy no longer was interested in going forward with her are correct? Or am I more correct that he wasn't getting reciprocation, it wasn't enough mutual interest, or just a better option came along that he wanted to put his energies towards? Let me know down in the chat down there. I mean, this is really not hard. It's really pretty obvious. It's not hard at all. What also is not hard is you hitting that like button. Like, subscribe, notification bell. We're out of here. Yobachi 2007 for Men's Mind State Cultural Reviews. Also hit one of my other videos before you leave and keep engaging with us. We really appreciate it. Let's build this channel. We thank you and we out. Peace.